Okay, so welcome to another episode of Art Source. Today we are going to be working with the infamous GelPress Gel plate, and we are going to be working with Golden Open Acrylics so that we can print some fantastic papers that could be torn and collaged into an upcoming project. So in thinking about the options that we have, we're going to get started. I've got a clean surface that I can work with my gel plate on, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. This is just a 6x6 gel plate. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the package. And awesome. And then I'm going to lay it on the surface, make sure that it's clean of any debris. A little piece of something on there. Alright, lay that bad boy flat. And then I'm going to move it aside for a moment. And then I'm working with, because it's the holidays, I'm going to work with just the Pthalo green shade. Put about the size of a dime down. And the Open Stay Wet slow drying is a little bit more of a softer body than the heavy body paint. So you can look forward to that, but it'll also stay wet longer so that the open time, hence the name, will be a little bit longer than traditional. I've got a cadmium red medium. And I've got a Titan buff. Okay, and with this, I'm going to try to roll out a little version of each one. I'm going to keep the plate separated, but I wanted to show you at least initially how to get this guy going. And I have different size brayers. So I've got a big 6-inch, and then I've got a little 2-inch one. And so we'll start by using this 6-inch here for the Pthalo green, and I will just take it sideways. Maybe I'll do a little 2-inch Titan buff, just making sure that I can keep it flat. And then of course I have a separate brayer for the red that I can use. So just enough workability that I can get this smooth and consistent. Okay, get my buff a little bit better. So with that, I'm going to put the pad aside, and I'm going to show you what you can do with the plate. So the jelly plate can be used in several different ways. We can actually even paint on the surface of it. So I'll start with if I was to take the palette and use some of the colorings, I could take a brush and do, some of the techniques or effects on the bottom here. Alright, and then I can do a combination of rolls. And maybe even a little bit more brush work. This has the colors mixed. Just going to kind of pull down to get some stylized. Got something on the plate there. So I've got a combination of smooth and also a little bit more fluid from the roller. Okay, and for the purpose of this, I'm just trying to create some variety in value and texture. And so I've got some smooth and I've got some straight up, and again I can go back and kind of roll into some things if I want to pick up some additional colors. Maybe I want to pull some of that in there, so I can kind of keep it going that way. And I'm going to take just the back of the brush and do a little bit of squiggle technique in it. So just to help kind of pull some of the color together, I'm just kind of drawing with the back of the brush. And you see this awesome, like, fiery pattern that starts to happen in addition to some of the smooth and flat. Okay. And then I'm just going to take a standard piece of, well, any kind of paper. I can do something heavier. I've got a variety here. So some of this is a heavier bonded paper, some of it's scrap drawing paper. I've got tinted, so I've got gray, I've got beige. So anything will work. For the purpose of this though, we're going to use a little bit heavier gray paper. And you know, I could register this, but for the point of what we're doing, I'm just trying to make a pattern. So I'm just going to lay it down. I'm going to press the plate. You can actually use a like a flat surface to go across the top, but I'm going to make sure that the whole plate is adhered. If you also have another brayer, you can run a clean brayer across the surface that way as well. And then when I pull off the plate, I get, wow, like just some of that interesting texture coming back through, the gray showing up. And it could be a standalone piece, or again, it could be collaged and embedded into something else. And then you'll also have what's called a ghost print, where you can take some additional paper, and let's see, that's not going to be big enough. Let's see. I'm going to use it anyway. And every time you put a press down on the gel plate, you're going to get more of the ink that comes off. So you can do it as many times as you need to. And I'll take another surplus piece for the bottom here. Just kind of clean your plate, and then you can build this up and it can become a whole nother print, you know. Okay, so then the plate's ultimately clean that way, but what I'm going to do is also spray it with a little alcohol. And then just hit it with a paper towel.